I'm very satisfied with the outcome of the second edition of Respira Mi in Milan. Of course, being an organizer, I may be biased, but I think there are some solid arguments to think that the meeting was successful, and hopefully we'll have a fallout on this topic of air pollution that, as we heard from very massive data, is one of the main causes of mortality and morbidity in Europe as well in the whole world. The main novelties were several. Besides confirming what has been known for many years, that air pollution is an important cause of respiratory and cardiovascular diseases, the presentation at this meeting were fundamental to show that the spectrum of condition and diseases that are affected by air pollution is becoming larger and larger. And this, of course, is terrifying. The weakest citizens are the most heavily affected. And the most important data stem from studies done in infants and in pregnant women. It has been shown quite conclusively that exposure of pregnant women to pollution cause an effect in the development of the infants. Not only smaller weight at birth, which of course has consequence in their later life, but also the development of the cognitive system, of the intelligence of the infants is slowed in mothers that were exposed to air pollution during pregnancy. So that's a tragic consequence which is quite new and is very important to consider. Particularly in the schools where there is a lot of pollution, there is a delay in the intellectual development of children. In addition, as there are new data on neurodegenerative diseases, it has been shown quite conclusively and clearly that dementia, cognitive problems are more frequent and occur earlier in areas where there is a high degree of air pollution. So the cognitive involvement is impaired not only in children but also in adults and neither to say in the elderly. In addition, there is no doubt that air pollution affects other neurological diseases such as Parkinson's disease that is more frequent in people exposed to pollutants, and multiple sclerosis, two very severe and important diseases. And there are other data that are being presented. For instance, the data on diabetes. Diabetes seem to be increased in those that are exposed to air pollution. So on the whole, I think that the conference, the seminar, gave a very clear picture of the burden that air pollution causes to the global community in the whole world. It was of interest to show the data that are obtained by the Italian scientists that are involved in this field, particularly the groups of the region Lazio in Rome and also the University of Milan, led one by Francesco Forestiere and the other one by Pier Alberto Bertazzi. They give important contributions, so Italian science is not behind the other groups in the studies related to the control of air pollution. Finally, I think during this meeting there was the presentation of the book that I wrote together with the scientific journalist Margherita Front. This book is called Cambiamo Aria in Italian, which means let us change air, and I think it's quite important because we try to divulge to the common people what are the consequences of air pollution and what could be done to reduce them. And probably the most original part of the book relates to indoor pollution, to pollution in the houses, because whereas it is only the politics and those that are responsible for the health of the community can intervene on ambient air pollution, we all can do a lot in terms of indoor air pollution. We can avoid to use furniture that contain formaldehyde. We can avoid to use fires that are a source of pollution, including chimneys, and also to look at the composition of the material that we use at home, because they can contribute to increase air pollution. So altogether, I think that this meeting was very well attended, of very high quality in terms of presentation, and certainly contributes in a global way to improve our understanding on the effect on health and on the community of air pollution.